The stars looked different from this part of space. Captain Taewon Kim stood on the bridge of the human medical spaceship Mercy, watching the main screen. The ship moved through space toward a world no human had ever visited before. "Captain, we are getting closer to the Tauri home planet," said Officer Jun, who controlled the ship's path. "We should arrive in about 2 hours." Captain Kim nodded. His dark uniform was clean and perfect, with a small red cross on each shoulder. Unlike military ships, the Mercy carried no weapons. Its hull was painted white with large red crosses on both sides. These markings were ancient human symbols for medical help. "Has Dr. Park finished preparing the medical teams?" he asked. "Yes, sir. She reports all teams are ready," said Communications Officer Song. "She also asks when she can speak with the Tauri doctors about the sick people." Captain Kim rubbed his tired eyes. The Human Alliance had only joined the Galactic Cooperative 3 months ago. This mission was important. It would show other species that humans could help in times of need. The Tauri were reptile-like aliens with scales and tall, strong bodies. They were known for their good medical science, but the plague spreading through their worlds was too much for them to handle alone. "Tell Dr. Park I'll let her know as soon as we make contact with their leaders," said Captain Kim. "And please, ask Engineer Lee to check our shields one more time." "Sir," said Officer Song suddenly, "we're getting a message from the Tauri command station." The main screen changed to show a Tauri officer. The alien had green-brown scales and yellow, slitted eyes. Sharp teeth showed when it spoke. "Human vessel. This is Commander Zith of Tauri Defense Force," the alien said in a rough voice. "Why have you entered our space with only one ship? Where is your battle group?" Captain Kim stood straight and spoke clearly. "Commander Zith, I am Captain Taewon Kim of the human medical ship Mercy. We received your distress call about the plague. We have come to help your sick." The Tauri commander's eyes narrowed. "You bring only one ship? With no weapons? Are all humans this foolish?" "Our ship is not built for fighting, Commander," Captain Kim explained. "The Mercy is a hospital ship. We carry doctors, medicine, and equipment to treat the sick." "How will you protect yourselves?" Commander Zith asked. "This sector is not safe. The plague has made many desperate." "We trust in the Galactic Cooperative rules about medical ships," said Captain Kim, "and we trust your forces will protect us while we help your people." The Tauri made a sound like a hiss. "Primitive thinking. But we need your help. Proceed to these coordinates." In the medical bay, Dr. Hana Park checked supplies with her team. The large room was filled with beds and medical equipment. Nurses and doctors moved quickly, preparing for their first alien patients. "Dr. Park," called Nurse Sujin, "the blood filters are ready. But will they work on Tauri biology?" Dr. Park looked at the data on her tablet. "Our scans show their blood is copper-based, not iron-based like ours. We'll need to adjust the settings." She pointed to another machine. "Make sure the scanners are set for reptilian anatomy." The ship suddenly shook hard, throwing medical supplies to the floor. "What was that?" Dr. Park grabbed a wall to stay standing. The captain's voice came through the speakers. "All hands, battle stations, we are under attack. Medical teams, secure your patients and equipment." On the bridge, Captain Kim watched in shock as 3 ships appeared on the screen. They were small but fast, with weapons firing at the Mercy. "Shields at 80%, reported Engineer Jin-Ho Lee over the comm. "Captain, our shields weren't built for this kind of attack." "Send message to attackers," ordered Captain Kim. "Tell them we are an unarmed medical vessel here to help with the plague." Officer Song shook her head. "No response, sir. They're not answering our calls." "Contact the Tauri Defense Forces," said Captain Kim. "Tell them we need protection." The ship shook again as more shots hit the shields. "Shields at 65%, called Engineer Lee. The main screen changed to show Commander Zith again. The Tauri looked angry. "Human Captain, you are under attack by Volari raiders," said Commander Zith. "We are sending ships, but they will take time to reach you. You should have brought weapons." "We don't carry weapons on medical ships," Captain Kim explained again. "It's against our ways." "Then you may die for your ways," said Commander Zith. "The Volari hate all who help us. They think we denied them treatment for the plague." "Did you?" asked Captain Kim. Commander Zith's face showed no emotion. The Volari are not members of the cooperative. Resources must go to those who matter. First, Captain Kim felt anger rise inside him but kept his voice calm. The Mercy doesn't work that way, Commander. We help all who need it. A strange concept, said the Tory. Our ships will arrive in 20 minutes. Try to survive until then. The screen went dark as another hit rocked the ship. Shields at 50% and falling, reported Engineer Lee. Captain, we can't take much more. Continue course to the Tari. Station, ordered Captain Kim. Maximum speed. Sir? Officer Jun looked confused. Shouldn't we try to run away or hide? No, said Captain Kim firmly. We came to help the sick, that's what we'll do. In the medical bay, Dr. Park and her team held on as the ship shook. Medical Officer Min Ho looked worried. Doctor, if they destroy the ship, no one gets help, he said. Dr. Park nodded. I know, but Captain Kim will get us there. That's why human medical ships are different. Different how? Asked Min Ho. Our ships are named Mercy, because that's what we offer to everyone, even our enemies, said Dr. Park. The captain knows that. He'll get us there. On the bridge, Captain Kim watched as the Tauri station grew larger on the screen. The attacking ships still followed, firing at the Mercy's weakening shields. Shields at 30%, called Engineer Lee. One more big hit and they'll be gone. Send a message on all channels, ordered Captain Kim. Tell them again, we are the human medical ship Mercy. We carry no weapons. We have come to treat all who suffer from the plague, Tauri, Volari, or any species who needs help. The ship shook, harder than before. Lights flickered on the bridge. Shields failing, shouted Engineer Lee. Distance to Tauri station? Asked Captain Kim, staying calm. 3 minutes at current speed, said Officer Jun. Captain Kim nodded. Keep going. Straight in. The attacking ship suddenly stopped firing. They moved alongside the Mercy, still following but no longer attacking. Sir, said Officer Song in surprise. The lead Volari ship is sending a message. On screen, ordered Captain Kim. A new alien face appeared, furry with pointed ears and 4 eyes. The Volari captain spoke in a growling voice. Human ship. You say you will treat Volari sick? You will help our people too, not just Tauri? Yes, said Captain Kim without hesitation. That is why we are here. That is why our ship is called Mercy. The Volari was silent for a moment. We will follow you to station. We will watch. If you lie, we will destroy your ship. Understood, said Captain Kim. Prepare your sick ones. We will treat them too. As the damaged Mercy approached the Tauri station with Volari ships following, Commander Zith's voice came through again. Human captain, you have somehow survived, and you have made peace with the Volari? The Tauri sounded confused. How did you manage this without weapons? Captain Kim looked at his bridge crew, then back at the screen. Sometimes, Commander, Mercy is more powerful than any weapon. Now please prepare your docking bay. We have work to do. The Mercy moved slowly into the huge Tauri station, its white hull now scorched and damaged. The red crosses still glowed brightly against the darkness of space. Behind it, the Volari ships waited, watching. On this day, 2 alien species would begin to learn why humans named their medical ships Mercy. The Mercy docked at the Tauri station with a loud clank of metal. Parts of its white hull were black from weapon hits. One of the red crosses on the side had been partly burned away. Dr. Hannah Park gathered her medical team in the main bay. Remember what we trained for, she said. Tauri biology is different from ours. Their blood is copper-based and looks blue-green. Their normal body heat is lower than humans. Check your tablets for the full details. Nurse Sujin raised her hand. Doctor, what about the Volari patients? We don't have much data on them. We'll scan the first ones who come aboard and update our files, Dr. Park said. Engineer Lee has set up extra medical pods for them. The ship's doors opened with a hiss. Captain Kim stood at the entrance, back straight, face serious. A group of Tauri waited outside. Their leader, Commander Zith, towered over the humans. His scales gleamed under the bright station lights. "Welcome to Tauri Station 7, said Commander Zith. "Our medical officer, Dr. Shrev, will show your team to the sick bay." He pointed to a shorter Tauri with lighter-colored scales. "Thank you, Commander," said Captain Kim with a small bow. "We're ready to help right away." Dr. Shrev stepped forward. "Follow me, humans. Our sick are this way." The Tauri doctor's voice was cold. As they walked through the station, Dr. Park saw many sick Tauri lying on beds. Some had scales turning gray. Others shook with fever. Medical workers moved quickly between patients. "How many are sick?" asked Dr. Park. "On this station, 423, said Dr. Shreve. "Across our 5 worlds, over 2 million. Dr. Park nodded. "When did the first cases appear?" 42 days ago, said Dr. Shrev. "It spreads fast. We lose about 1 in 5 who get sick." They reached a large room filled with more sick Tauri. The smell of medicine and illness filled the air. "We will set up our equipment here," said Dr. Park. She turned to her team. "Group 1, start scanning patients. Group 2, set up the blood cleaners. Group 3, prepare medicine packs." The human medical team moved quickly. They brought machines from the Mercy and set them up around the room. The Tauri medical workers watched with curious eyes. Dr. Shrev pointed to a human scanner. "What does this do?" "It reads the body down to the cell level," explained Medical Officer Minho. "It helps us see exactly what the disease is doing to the body." In another part of the station, Captain Kim sat with Commander Zith in a meeting room. The walls were bare metal. The chairs were too big for humans. "Your medical team works fast," said Commander Zith. "But there is another problem we must discuss." "The Volari," said Captain Kim. "Yes." Commander Zith's yellow eyes narrowed. "They say you promised to treat their sick too." "I did," said Captain Kim. "And I will keep that promise." The Tauri commander hit the table with his fist. "They attacked your ship. They are our enemies." "They are also sick," said Captain Kim calmly. "The plague doesn't care about your politics. Neither does my medical team. You would bring enemies onto my station?" Commander Zith stood up, his tall body looking even more dangerous. "I would bring sick people to doctors who can help them," said Captain Kim, not backing down. "That is what mercy means." Back in the medical area, Engineer Jin-Ho Lee worked on setting up the last medical pod. His hands moved quickly over the controls. "These pods can clean the blood and help the body fight the disease," he explained to a Tauri engineer who was watching him. "Why do humans send unarmed ships into danger?" asked the Tauri. "It seems stupid." Engineer Lee smiled. "Maybe, but our history taught us something important. In war, medical help must be, what's the word, neutral, not taking sides. But the Volari attacked you," said the Tauri. "Yes, but they stopped when they learned we would help their sick too," said Engineer Lee. "That's the power of mercy." Dr. Park's voice came through Lee's comm unit. "Engineer Lee, are the extra pods ready? The first Volari patients are arriving." Lee looked surprised. "Already? I thought the captain was still talking to Commander Zith about it." "Captain Kim gave the order directly," said Dr. Park. He said, "We don't need permission to save lives." Near the docking area, a small Volari ship connected to the station. Tauri guards stood with weapons ready as the door opened. 3 Volari stepped out, carrying a 4th on a stretcher. The sick Volari looked very bad with patchy fur and 4 dull eyes. Captain Kim met them at the door. Commander Zith stood behind him looking angry but silent. "Welcome," said Captain Kim to the Volari. "Our doctors will take good care of your friend." The lead Volari looked at the Tauri guards, then back at Captain Kim. "You keep your word, human. Unusual in this part of space." Nurse Soo-jin and Medical Officer Minho took the stretcher. "This way, please," said Nurse Soo-jin with a kind smile. "We have a place ready." As more Volari patients arrived, tension filled the air. Tauri workers and patients watched with untrusting eyes as their enemies were brought into the same medical area. Dr. Shrev pulled Dr. Park aside. You put Valari next to our people? This is not acceptable. Disease doesn't care about your war, said Dr. Park firmly. And neither do I. All of my patients get the same care. But they are Valari. Dr. Shrev's voice rose. They raid our ships, they steal our supplies. Now they're sick people who need help, said Dr. Park, just like your people. In the medical pod area, Engineer Lee watched as the first scan results came in from the Valari patients. He called Dr. Park over and pointed to the screen. Look at this, he said. The disease affects Valari differently than Tauri. It attacks the lungs first in Valari, but the blood first in Tauri. Dr. Park studied the images. Interesting. This could help us understand how to fight it. She tapped on the screen. Run a full comparison between the species. Commander Zith entered the medical area with Captain Kim. The Tauri commander looked at the humans working side by side with both Tauri and Valari. Your people are strange, Captain, said Commander Zith. You risk your lives to help enemies. We don't see enemies in the medical bay, said Captain Kim. Only patients. A loud beeping sound came from one of the Valari pods. The sick Valari inside was shaking hard. Nurse Sujin rushed over. Blood pressure dropping fast, she called out. Dr. Park, we need help here. Dr. Park ran to the pod and checked the readings. Give him the blue medicine quickly. Dr. Shrev moved closer, watching with interest. That medicine is for Tauri biology. It will not work on Valari. We adjusted it, said Dr. Park as she worked. Our scans showed similarities we could use. The Valari patient slowly stopped shaking. His 4 eyes opened slightly. Commander Zith watched from across the room. You saved him, he said, sounding surprised. That's what we do, said Captain Kim. That's why our medical ships are called Mercy. We don't pick and choose who deserves to live. Later that night, when most were sleeping, Dr. Park studied the disease patterns on her tablet. The sickness was complex, changing as it moved between species. You should rest, said Captain Kim, bringing her a cup of hot drink. Soon, she said. I'm seeing something strange in these patterns. The plague seems designed. Designed? You mean it's not natural? Asked Captain Kim. I'm not sure yet, said Dr. Park, but it adapts too quickly, and it knows exactly how to attack each species differently. Captain Kim frowned. That would mean someone made this plague, said Dr. Park. And they made it to hurt both Tauri and Valari. But who would want to hurt both sides? Asked Captain Kim. Before Dr. Park could answer, the station alarm began to sound. Red lights flashed in the hallways. Captain Kim to the command center immediately, called a voice over the speakers. What now? Said Captain Kim, standing quickly. Sir, said Communications Officer Song through the comm unit, we have a problem. A fleet of Valari warships just appeared on the edge of the system. They're coming this way. Dr. Park and Captain Kim looked at each other. The true test of mercy was about to begin. Captain Kim rushed into the Tauri command center. The large room was filled with screens showing the space around the station. Commander Zith stood in the middle, giving orders to his officers. Captain Kim, said Commander Zith when he saw the human, your actions have brought a Valari battle fleet to my station. This doesn't make sense, said Captain Kim. The Valari know we're treating their sick. Why would they attack now? A Tauri communications officer spoke up. We intercepted a message. Between their ships, they believe we are using their sick ones for experiments. Captain Kim frowned. That's not true. We need to talk to them. Talking is over, said Commander Zith. We have called for our defense fleet. When they arrive, we will drive the Valari away. More fighting won't help, said Captain Kim. Let me contact them first. Commander Zith's yellow eyes narrowed. You have 1 hour before our fleet arrives. After that, we attack. Back in the medical area, Dr. Park continued studying the plague samples. The sickness was getting worse. More patients arrived every hour, and the treatments weren't working as well as before. The disease is changing, she told Medical Officer Minho. It's adapting to our medicines. How is that possible? Asked Minho. Diseases don't learn that fast. This one does, said Dr. Park. which makes me more certain someone designed it. Nurse Sujin approached with a worried look. Dr. Park, the latest blood test from the Volari patients show something strange. She handed over a tablet. Dr. Park studied the results. Her eyes widened. This is it. The Volari have a natural protein that fights the plague. It doesn't cure them completely, but it slows the disease. Can we use it to help the Tauri patients? Asked Minho. Maybe, said Dr. Park, but we'd need direct blood samples from healthy Volari. Engineer Lee joined them. Bad timing for that. There's a Volari fleet heading this way, and they think we're doing experiments on their people. What? Dr. Park looked shocked. But that's the opposite of what we're doing. Someone wants this conflict to continue, said Lee. Someone who doesn't want the Tauri and Volari to work together. On the bridge of the Mercy, Captain Kim set up a communication channel to the approaching Volari fleet. The main screen showed the alien commander, a large Volari with dark fur and a scar across 2 of his 4 eyes. This is Fleet Commander. Krays of the Volari Defense Force, growled the alien. Release our people immediately or we will destroy your station. Commander Kraz, I am Captain Taewon Kim of the human medical ship Mercy, said Captain Kim calmly. Your people are not prisoners. They are patients. We are treating them for the plague. Lies, shouted Kraz. We received messages saying the Tauri are using them for experiments. Those messages are false, said Captain Kim. Who sent them to you? That does not matter, said Kraz. Return our people, or we attack. I invite you to send representatives to see for yourself, said Captain Kim. Your sick are being treated right alongside Tauri patients. Commander Kraz was silent for a moment. You have 2 hours to prepare for their arrival. If we find any sign of harm to our people, we will show no mercy. After the call ended, Captain Kim contacted Dr. Park. We have a small window of opportunity. Volari representatives are coming to check on their patients. Good timing, said Dr. Park. I've found something important. The Volari have a natural resistance to the plague. With their help, we might be able to create a better treatment for everyone. 2 hours later, a small Volari ship docked at the station. 4 armed Volari stepped out, led by Sub-Commander Traal, who reported directly to Fleet Commander Kraz. Captain Kim and Dr. Park met them at the dock. Commander Zith stood back, watching with distrust. Welcome, said Captain Kim. We'll take you directly to your people. As they walked through the station, the Volari visitors kept their hands near their weapons. They passed many sick Tauri in the hallways. Some Tauri workers glared at the Volari with hatred. Your station is full of the plague, noted Sub-Commander Traal, yet you still find space for our sick. Disease doesn't care about your conflict, said Dr. Park. Neither do we. They entered the main medical area. Volari patients lay in beds next to Tauri patients. Human medical staff moved between all of them without difference. Sub-Commander Traal seemed surprised. You truly treat them the same? Of course, said Dr. Park. That's how medicine works for humans. She led them to a quiet room and explained her discovery about the Volari resistance to the plague. With blood samples from healthy Volari, we might create a treatment that works for everyone. You want our blood? Sub-Commander Traal's fur bristled. This proves you use us for experiments. No, said Dr. Park firmly. We're asking for volunteers to help end this plague, not just for Volari, but for everyone. Before Traal could respond, alarms blared throughout the station. A Tauri officer ran into the room. The Tauri defense fleet has arrived early, he said. They're preparing to attack the Volari ships. Sub-Commander Traal reached for his weapon. Treachery, this was a trap. No. Captain Kim stepped between them. I knew nothing about this. He turned to the Tauri officer. Get me Commander Zith. Immediately. In the command center, Commander Zith stood before a large screen showing the Tauri fleet moving into attack position. You promised me time, said Captain Kim angrily. The Volari representatives are still on board. Plans change, said Commander Zith coldly. This is our chance to end the Volari threat. By starting a battle with sick people caught in the middle? Captain Kim's voice was hard. This is the opposite of mercy. Mercy is a luxury, said Commander Zith. Survival is a necessity. Captain Kim turned to Sub-Commander Trowell. Contact your fleet. Tell them what you've seen here. Tell them about Dr. Park's discovery. Why should I help you? Asked Trowell. Not me, said Captain Kim. Help your own people. All of your people, sick and healthy. Back in the medical area, the patients could feel the tension. Some Tauri tried to move away from Volari patients. Nurse Sujin stood between them. No one moves, she said firmly. You are all patients here. Nothing else matters. An explosion shook the station. The battle had begun. Dr. Park received an urgent message from Engineer Lee. Doctor, the station's power is unstable. If it goes out, the medical pods will stop working. How long can we keep them running? Asked Dr. Park. Maybe 1 hour on backup power, said Lee. I'm working on connecting them to the Mercy systems, but I need time. Dr. Park looked around at her patients. Without the pods, many would die. Within hours. She made a decision and walked quickly to find Captain Kim. He was still arguing with Commander Zith in the command center. I need to speak with both of you, said Dr. Park, and with Sub-Commander Trowell. When they were all together, Dr. Park spoke clearly and directly. The plague that affects both your peoples was created on purpose. The room went silent. What? Commander Zith looked shocked. The disease was designed to affect both Tauri and Volari, said Dr. Park. It changes too quickly to be natural. Someone wants your two species to keep fighting each other. Who would do this? Asked Sub-Commander Trowell. I don't know, said Dr. Park. But I know that Volari have a natural protein that helps fight the disease. With their help, we could save many Tauri lives, and what we learn might help both your peoples. Why should we help the Tauri? Asked Trowell. Because this isn't about Tauri or Volari anymore, said Captain Kim. It's about life. It's about showing mercy when someone else wants you to show hate. Another explosion rocked the station. The lights flickered. We're running out of time, said Dr. Park. The life support systems are failing. If the station loses power, all the patients, Tauri and Volari, will die. Commander Zith looked at the battle, on the screen, then at Dr. Park. For the first time, the Tauri seemed uncertain. What do you suggest? He asked. Call off your attack, said Captain Kim. Let the Volari help us create a treatment. Then we can move all the patients to safety. Commander Zith was silent for a long moment. Then he nodded. Very well. But if this is a trick. It's not a trick, said Dr. Park. It's medicine, it's mercy. Sub-Commander Trowell studied the humans closely. Your ship is called Mercy. Now I begin to understand why. As the commanders left to stop the battle, Captain Kim turned to Dr. Park. Will this really work? Can you make a treatment? Dr. Park looked tired but determined. I think so, but we'll need more help. What kind of help? Asked Captain Kim. We need to find who created this plague, said Dr. Park. Only they would have the full cure. Another explosion hit the station, bigger than before. The lights went out completely. In the darkness, only emergency lights glowed dimly. Engineer Lee's voice came through the comm. Captain, we've lost main power. The medical pods are on backup power only. Captain Kim looked at Dr. Park in the dim red light. How long do we have? 1 hour, said Dr. Park. Maybe less. Then we'd better hurry, said Captain Kim. Mercy isn't just a name. It's a promise we made, and humans keep their promises. As they rushed back to the medical area, neither noticed the small communication device hidden under the command table, blinking silently in the darkness. Someone was listening. Someone who didn't want peace between Tauri and Volari. Someone who had created the plague on purpose. The true test of mercy was just beginning. Red emergency lights cast long shadows in the medical area. The backup power hummed, keeping the medical pods working for now. Patients looked around with worried eyes. Some Tauri children cried softly. Everyone stay calm, said Dr. Park as she moved between beds. The power will be fixed soon. Engineer Jinho Lee worked quickly, connecting cables from the Mercy to the station systems. Sweat ran down his face as he joined wires and checked readings. "How much longer?" asked Captain Kim, kneeling beside him. 10 more minutes, said Engineer Lee. "Maybe 15. The connections are tricky." Captain Kim nodded and stood up. "That's all the time we have. The medical pods will fail in less than an hour." Outside the station, the battle had paused. The Tauri fleet hung in space on one side. The Volari ships waited on the other. No one fired, but everyone was ready to start fighting again. In the command center, Commander Zith and Sub-Commander Traal stood far apart, not looking at each other. Years of hate did not disappear in one day. "Your fleet attacked first," said Traal, his 4 eyes narrowed. "Your ships came to our space," said Zith with a low hiss. "Stop." Captain Kim walked between them. "This is exactly what someone wants. They created this plague to keep you fighting." "Who would do such a thing?" asked Commander Zith. "Someone who benefits from your war," said Captain Kim. "Someone who doesn't want you working together." The station shook again, but this time it wasn't from weapons. The engines were failing. "Station control reports we're losing orbit," said a Tauri officer. "Without main power, we'll start falling toward the planet in 2 hours." "We need to evacuate," said Captain Kim. "Get all patients to ships." "My fleet has medical ships," said Commander Zith. "But they will not take Volari." "And our ships will not take Tauri," said Sub-Commander Traal. Captain Kim felt anger rise inside him. "Then you're both fools. You'll let your people die because of hate." Back in the medical area, Dr. Park and Nurse Soo-Jin prepared the sickest patients to move. "We can take 30 on the Mercy," said Dr. Park. "But there are over 400 patients here." Medical Officer Minho looked up from his tablet. "I've been studying the blood samples from the Volari volunteers. There's something strange." "What is it?" asked Dr. Park. "The protein that fights the plague." "It's not natural," said Minho. "It looks designed just like the plague itself." Dr. Park took the tablet and studied the results. "You're right. This is too perfect to be natural." She looked at the Volari patients with new understanding. Someone gave them protection, then released the plague. "But why give only Volari the protection?" asked Nurse Soo-Jin. "To make the Tauri think the Volari created the plague," said Dr. Park. "To keep the war going." On the bridge of the Mercy, Captain Kim received an urgent call from Dr. Park. When she explained what they found, his face grew serious. "I need to talk to both commanders again," he said. "This changes everything." As Captain Kim hurried back to the command center, a small maintenance robot moved silently along the wall behind him. Its camera followed his movements. Someone was watching. In a dark corner of the station, far from the medical area, a figure in a hooded cloak watched screens showing different parts of the station. One screen showed Captain Kim, another showed Dr. Park, others showed the command center and the medical area. The figure touched a control, and the maintenance robot following. Captain Kim stopped moving. Then the figure pressed another button and all communication systems in the command center went dead. "Too close," whispered the figure. "They're getting too close to the truth." In the command center, Commander Zith tried to contact his fleet. "Communications are down," he said. "Another system failure." "No," said Captain Kim. "Someone is doing this on purpose." He turned to Sub-Commander Traal. "Can you reach your ships?" Traal tried his communication device. "Nothing. All channels are blocked." Captain Kim thought quickly. "We need to get a message out. We need to tell both fleets to send all available medical ships." "How?" asked Commander Zith. "All systems are down." "Not all systems," said Captain Kim with a small smile. "The Mercy has its own communication array, and I know someone who can make it work, even with the power issues." He used his personal comm unit to call Engineer Lee. "Jinho, I need you to get the Mercy's communication system working at full power. Can you do it?" "Yes, Captain," said Lee's voice through the static, "but I'll have to disconnect from the medical pods to do it." Captain Kim closed his eyes. This was the hard choice: communication or life support. "How long will the pods last on their own?" "Maybe 20 minutes," said Lee. Do it, ordered Captain Kim. Get the message out, then reconnect the pods. In the maintenance tunnels below the main floor, Engineer Lee crawled through narrow spaces following cables back to the Mercy. He didn't notice the small maintenance robot that followed him, or the red light that blinked on its side. In the medical area, Dr. Park gathered blood samples from the Volari volunteers. With these, she hoped to create a treatment that would work for everyone. The pods will lose power soon, warned Nurse Soo-jin. We should move the sickest patients to the Mercy. There's no time to move them all, said Dr. Park. We need another solution. Medical Officer Min-ho looked up suddenly. What if we connect the pods directly to the patients, like a personal life support system? The portable units? Dr. Park's eyes widened. That might work. They have their own power cells. They quickly began converting the medical pods to portable units. Each one could support a patient for hours, even if the main systems failed. On the Mercy, Engineer Lee reached the communication array. He disconnected the power cables that had been feeding the medical pods and reconnected them to the ship's systems. Communication array powering up, he reported through his comm unit. Ready to send in 30 seconds. In the command center, Captain Kim prepared a message for both fleets. As he worked, Commander Zith moved closer to him. Human, said the Tauri commander in a low voice. Your people show great. What is your word? Mercy. Even when it is not wise. Sometimes mercy is the wisest choice of all, said Captain Kim. It's what makes us human. The maintenance robot in the corner of the room suddenly moved. A small panel opened on its side, revealing a weapon. Sub-Commander Trowell saw it first. Look out, he shouted, pushing Captain Kim aside as the robot fired. The beam hit Trell in the shoulder. The Volari fell to the floor, wounded, but alive. Security breach, shouted Commander Zith. All guards to the command center. The robot turned its weapon toward Captain Kim again. Before it could fire, Commander Zith grabbed a metal bar and smashed the robot. It sparked and fell to the ground, broken. Someone tried to kill you, said Commander Zith to the human captain. Why? Because I'm trying to end this conflict, said Captain Kim. Someone wants it to continue. On the Mercy, Engineer Lee finished setting up the communication system. Ready to send, Captain, he said through the comm. Send this message to both fleets, said Captain Kim. The plague was created to keep Tauri and Volari fighting. We have proof. We need all medical ships to come to the station immediately. All patients, Tauri and Volari, need evacuation. This is not about politics. This is about life. The message went out, strong and clear. Moments later, both fleets began to move, not to attack but to help. They're coming, said Sub-Commander Trowell, looking at the scanner. Both sides. In the medical area, the power finally failed completely. The main lights went out, but the portable units kept working, keeping the sickest patients alive. Dr. Park finished preparing the treatment from the Volari blood samples. It wasn't a perfect cure, but it would help. Start with the Tauri children, she told her team. They're the most vulnerable. As the human medical team worked in the dim emergency light, something strange happened. Tauri medical workers began helping move Volari patients. Volari visitors helped carry Tauri children. In the face of common danger, old hatreds seemed less important. Captain Kim returned to the medical area and found Dr. Park. The medical ships are coming, but we have another problem. Someone on this station created the plague, and they just tried to kill me. We need to find them, said Dr. Park. They might have the real cure. I think I know where to look, said Captain Kim. The communications block came from the lower levels. Section 12, near the research labs. The labs were locked when we arrived, said Dr. Park. Commander Zith said they were damaged by the plague. Or maybe that's where the plague was made, said Captain Kim. Engineer Lee joined them, his clothes dirty from crawling through tunnels. The medical ships are docking now. They can take all the patients. Good, said Captain Kim. Jin-ho, I need you to come with me. We're going to the research labs. The three humans moved through the dark hallways of the station. Other workers were busy evacuating patients. No one noticed them going down to the lower levels. Section 12 was quiet and dark. The doors to the research lab were sealed shut. "Can you open it?" Captain Kim asked Engineer Lee. "I think so," said Lee, examining the control panel. "But it will take time." "We don't have time," said Dr. Park. "The station is losing orbit. We have less than an hour before it starts falling toward the planet." Engineer Lee worked on the door, controls, while Captain Kim and Dr. Park kept watch. Finally, there was a click and hiss. "Got it," said Lee as the doors slid open. Inside, screens glowed with data. The lab was clean and organized, not damaged,